Hello. There's rumours running around the place that Boris is going to have a reshuffle today. God knows whether that's the case. Now, I think Boris made a good start the other day in proposing this tax hike. I think when you look at the details, the tax hike is wrong because it actually penalises the poor. The poor, once again, are subsidising the wealthy, which is not how it should be. But why would we be surprised about the details of this thing coming out like that when Boris is surrounded by a cabal of sharks who will as easily give backhanders to their rich friends as they will dismiss a brief. They don't read the information, they don't look carefully. I know because I've tried to be in correspondence with one or two of these people, and it's generally failed. I was very amused yesterday to hear that there was an object lurking outside Boris's office, and that this proved to be harmless. I wouldn't have described Priti Patel as harmless in any way. I would have thought she was an extremely harmful object if she was standing outside Boris's office. I am an object! I am an object! I will do harm! She can do no other. Now, let's take a more philosophical approach. When you are in politics, actually when you are in life, you have three choices. One, to vacillate, to do nothing, which can occasionally be a good thing, actually. Sleeping on it is how people tend to describe that. The other one is to do the right thing, and the third one is to do the expedient thing. And sometimes the right thing and the expedient thing are conjoined, not always. I'm afraid Boris, throughout his premiership as Prime Minister, since he became Prime Minister, has vacillated. He's not led, he's been led. And one of the great statements which I think really one should look at realistically, because it's been trumpeted so often and people haven't paid attention to what it means. We have to follow the science. No, Boris, you are the leader. You don't have to follow, you have to lead. And that's what he's not done. So yes, I praise Boris for doing his tax hike the other day. I criticise him for the details of that tax hike. But at least he started to do something. So if he's now going to have a cabinet reshuffle, which he should have done before the tax hike, so he was surrounded by people who were noble and honourable and would give him the right information and the right advice. Yeah, if he's going to have a cabinet reshuffle, I would applaud that. Get rid of some of the dross. But I'm afraid Boris has got into a habit of being led. Boris is no longer the shaggy sheepdog. Woo, woof. No, Boris has become one of those silent, masticating sheep on a hillside in the Lake District. Boris needs to be saved by Beatrix Potter. Boris, I had great hopes for Boris, not as a not from a party political point of view, but from the point of view of somebody who had personality, and he seems to have jettisoned that. You know, the one thing that Boris had, the one thing that we could be sure of about Boris, was that he could put people at their ease, was that he always had a good line. We never hear Boris speak now, except in pre-prepared sentences. It's almost as if Whitehall is as terrified of Boris opening up his mouth without a script as America was with one or two of its more recent presidents. Boris has to be online, and online is not good. Boris the bureaucrat is not the Boris we want, and it's certainly not the Boris I used to know. So please, do leave your comments. I'd be really interested to hear. And I'd also be interested to know whether or not you think there is a future in Boris's premiership. Is there anybody else? I don't think there is anybody else. So how can we make it work? That's the thing. You deal with the reality. You don't deal with the what-ifs. You deal with the reality. And you try and make that work as well as it can. do ring the bell. Bye bye.